Okay, let's open the template. In the template, you can find three main sections: Toolbox, Tactical Board, and Session Planner. Let's first look at the toolbox. In the toolbox, you can find pliers, arrows, spaces, and everything you need for a training session. If you scroll down, you can find pitches, grids for designing sessions. Now let's look at the tactical board. In the tactical board, there are pitches. You can find full-sized pitches or half-sized pitches. How to use? It's very simple. Simply drag one of the pitches out to where you want, like this. Then a new Keynote file is created. I'm gonna rename it as Tactical Board number 1. I'm gonna open it. This is my new workspace. When I'm working, I always split the screen, toolbox on my right side corner, and my workspace on the left side, like this. And just simply copy the objects that I want and paste onto the workspace, like this. You can just duplicate Now let's make an animation. Think of this slide as a frame. So I duplicate this slide to make the second frame. On the second frame, I move the object. Now let's play from the slide 1. When I press the space bar, it moves. So I just simply repeat this process. The shortcut of duplicate is Command D. I click the slide, Command D, and move the object. Click the slide, Command D, move the object. But here, can you notice blue mark on the corner of each slide? The blue mark means the slide has transition effect. It has magic move effect. Now I'm going to click all the slides and remove the magic move effect. See that? There is no blue mark. Then I'm gonna play. See that? It moves like a photo album. So make sure when you make animation, put the transition effect, which is magic move. Now I'm going to play again. But look at this. The ball moves so slowly. This is because the slide has duration. So I'm going to change the duration to 0.8. And I'm going to play again. The ball moves faster. But if you don't like setting up all the, transition effect and duration, you can just simply use my template, which has already transition effect applied. If you want to add an arrow, you can just copy an arrow from the toolbox and paste onto the workspace, like this. I put the arrow in the first slide, but in the second slide, there's no arrow. So when I play from the slide 1, there is arrow, but as ball moves, the arrow disappears. Now, if you want your arrow to be animated, you have to click the arrow and find Animate, Build In, and add an effect. And here you can see line draw. If you click, now it has animation. But it is too slow. Then you have to change the duration. In my case, I always use 0.8. See that? It's much faster. Okay. But if you don't like changing the duration and putting all the animation effect, if you want to save your time, you can just simply use the toolbox. In the toolbox, there are arrows and shapes that have already animation effect. Here, let me play this template. See this? So all you have to do is just use one of these arrows and copy and paste onto your workspace. Simple as that. Now let's make an attacking pattern using what we've learned. Now I'm gonna duplicate and move the ball. And at this time, I want my striker come to the ball. And make an 1-2 pass. Like this. And cross the ball to finish. Let's play. Ball goes into flank and make a 1-2 pass, cross the ball and finish. Now, if you want to emphasize this 1-2 pass on the flank, you may want to use arrows. So I just copy and paste the arrows. Like this. Now let's play. Yeah. But here, if you want to change the order of animations, let's say you want this arrow to appear first, and this one second, and this one last. Like this, 1, 2, 3. Then you have to click the build order here. So you have to change the order. So if you click the first line, yeah, it's already this one. The second one is the orange dashed line. Then I'm going to draw it down to be the third. Okay. So this is first one, second one, and the last one. And let's play. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now you may want to change the order again. You want this to appear first. And these two appear at the same time. Then all you have to do is just put them together like this. Now it says after build 2 here. Now you need to change to with build 2. Then, yeah, they appear together. So like this, if you want to have kind of detailed explanation, you gotta know how to use the build order. Now let's play from the start. Yep, ball goes wide, make a 1, 2, and finish. Perfect. And that's it. Now you know how to use slides and build order. You are good enough to make a training session or game model. If you don't have time, you could stop watching this video here. But if you want to explore more in detail, please keep watching. Now you may want to put an image in this object. And all you have to do is click this object and find the format, style, and fill. Now it has color fill, where you can change color of the object, like this. But you gotta change to image fill here. See that? You can change the image. Or you can just find in the toolbox. I already made this. So all you have to do is just copy and paste and change the image. If you want to add a text in the shape, you have to double click and type the text GED. But by the time I put D, the text disappears. Why? Because the shape is not big enough for the size of the text. So you have to do either making the shape bigger or making the text smaller, like this. But see that? It's too small. You can't see the text. That's why I made these in the toolbox. I'll copy and paste. See the difference? How did I make this? I used a feature called group. So it's already grouped. So I'm going to ungroup it. It has text and shape. So all I have to do is just to combine these two by group. In this case, even if the text goes outside of the shape, it doesn't matter. Using this feature, you can put the text in the bottom, maybe change the color, and group. You can make this like this. If you want to add connection line, you gotta go to shape and choose connection line here. You can't use just normal line. I'll explain why. Let me have these two lines. The difference between them is connection line has this green dot. You can drag this, make it curve. But normal line doesn't have that. The another difference is connection line actually connect between objects like this. It attaches to objects. So when I move object, it's still connected. But just normal line, it doesn't attach. That's why you gotta use connection line. I'll make it back 4. Maybe I wanna change the color, make it bigger, like this. But there is easier way. Simply you can use the template. In our toolbox, all the lines here are actually connection lines. So all you have to do is just choose one of them, copy and paste. That's it, simple as that. Now you may want to change the background. Then all you have to do is just click the layout and go to Format, Slide Layout. Here you can change the pitch. Now I'm going to change to white one, this one. That's it. That's all about how to use Tactical Board. Okay, let's learn how to use text box. You can see text box here and here. All you have to do is just double click like this and type what you want. Like this. But if you see this, this is not a text box. This is a table. So I make table here and reduce the number of cells like this and resize it and put it here. Why? Because you can increase and decrease the number of cells easily by clicking here. So if you see the first page of the session planner, I make everything as a table. And sometimes you have more than 4 practices in one session. Then all you have to do is just click here and increase the number of cells. Or you can decrease the number of cells like this. But it doesn't work anymore because there is content inside of the cell. So you have to remove it to reduce the cell like this. So for example, when I explain my idea, I always use text table. So this slide is about how to defend against 4-on-4-on. In the next, it's about how to defend against 4-4-1-1. So if you put your ideas in order and show them in the order, then players will understand much, much better. But if you find it too difficult using the text table, you can just simply delete it. And then you can go to Toolbox and find text box here. All you have to do is just copy and paste where you want, like this. Especially when you use full-size pits or half-size pits, there is no space for text. So in this case, you better use this text box to type what you want, like this. Now let's have a look at the session planner. In the session planner, we can find the first page for training information. You have a date, match day -3, subject, number of players, total duration, workload, RP, and type. And you have a layout for 1 practice, and for 2 practices, and for 3 practices. Also, you have 11x11 pits. How to use is very simple. You can just drag out the template out to where you want. Now a new template is created. Now I'm going to rename. When organizing files, naming is crucial. I use the date in order of year, month, and day. In this way, the files are automatically sorted in chronological order. So, for example, next day we have training. So it's automatically sorted. Yeah. And I add information, match day, let's say match day -3, and subject, attack, and physical subject. You have like endurance, recovery, speed, power. I'll choose endurance today. Endurance. And lastly, I put a position. So in this way, you can reflect the session. So let's say, oh, match day -3, what kind of trainings we had, or in attacking session, what kind of practices we have. And against Chelsea, how did we prepare? Like this, you can reflect and you can reuse the training sessions. Okay, now let's make a session. On the first page, I always start with the session number of the whole season. Let's say 23. And here, match day -3, subject, attack, number of players, 20 outfield players plus 2 keepers, and total duration here. This is total duration of all trainings. For example, here warm up, and then I give 10 minutes. Pass, 50 minutes, small sided game, 20 minutes, 11v11, 20 minutes. So total duration of all trainings appears here. Yeah, so you don't have to delete this one, okay? And this one is training, workload, GPS. So I go for match time -3, 6 to 7K meters. And RP means intensity of the training session. And from 1 to 9, I go for 7. Type, endurance, recovery, speed. I go for endurance. Okay, first page is done. Let's move on to the second page. Again, you can use toolbox to make a training session. Toolbox, let's look at the toolbox. I'm going to use this grid, copy and paste. And I'm going to use this time this one. And also I need ball. Copy and paste. And if you want to rotate an object, you have to keep pressing command button. Then you can rotate. Command, rotate. Yeah. And practice name here, 4v2 rondo, and duration 12 minutes. And this text box, this is actually table. So you can just click here to split, to divide the tables. Okay, or you can just use as a text box. Description, 1 or 2 touches. Maybe you can write down coaching points, body position, and etc. That's it. Or if you want to use this layout for 2 practices, you can just copy and paste here, copy and paste. Here, maybe 4v2, 12 minutes. And here, as progression, let's make 6v3. And 6v3, we need one more color of player. Yeah, copy and paste. 6v3, we need one more blue, and like this. And maybe you want to add arrow. Yeah, other way, like this. Here you can type any text, quoting points, and anything. That's it. Here I want to add the slide we just made in Tactical Board. So all I have to do is just copy the slide from the Tactical Board and paste in the training session. The size of all the templates I made is the same. So they are all interchangeable. Okay, training design is done. Now you want to print. You go to File, Print, and here you can just print. But here you have 4 pages on 4 sheets. Maybe it's waste of paper. So you just scroll down, find layout here. You can change from 1 to 4. then in one sheet, you have 4 pages. So I want to show you this one. Yep, here. Now you can see in one sheet, you have all training pages. The main reason I use Keynote instead of other training platforms is because of one key feature, collaboration. And what is collaboration? It simply means that you can work together. For example, if you look at this page, the workload, RPE, training type, and warm-up actually are handled by SNC coach, right? Me, as a tactical coach, focusing more on 11v11. Let me give you an example. This second slide was made by our SNC coach. And the next 3 slides were made by me because it was about high pressing, mid block, and low protection. So like this, the SNC coach does his job and I do my job here. So the division of the labor is possible. In fact, when you set this file up for collaboration, you can see who is editing it. You can see even who is moving the arrow. This means instead of one person doing everything, each member of coaching staff can play a role and create the session together. There are many tutorials on how to collaborate if you search on YouTube or Google. Here I will show you the method I use. You can click Share here to enable collaboration feature. But what I do is this. In MacBook's Finder, find iCloud Drive. And here I create a new folder. Get collaboration folder. And here I right click with my mouse and click Share. And here I use Collaborate, Invite with Link. And I put email address of person who I want to share with. I'll use my email address as an example and copy link. Then this folder is for share. If you enlarge, there's an icon. See that? The folder has people icon inside. So this means it's ready to share. I go back to list. Again, I right click with mouse, and now I click manage shared folder. Here you can see me as an owner and email addresses of people I invite. That's an overview of how to set up collaboration. Although setting it up might seem a bit tricky at first, once it's set up, it can be extremely useful, especially for teams where the number of coaching staff is growing. Collaboration is not optional, it's essential. By dividing up the work, you can handle tasks more efficiently and quickly. It's easy to use the iCloud. In the Finder, you can find here iCloud Drive, and then you can create a shared folder like this. And then you can just put everything you want. In my case, I put game models and session plans like this. Then you can find files or Keynote on your iPhone or iPad, and you can find the folder you created. And with Keynote app, you can see the slides Even you can play the slides, just like you do in your Mac. Or you can add this simple stuff on your iPhone or iPad. In my case, I put all game models, training sessions, and schedules in an iCloud folder and share them with my team. This way, we can share and edit files in real time without needing to meet in person.